Well, that's true. My second question is, do you run a website somewhere?
Yeah, you can just get it for free if you want. You know, you can get it on Amazon.com, or if you don't want to pay any money, you can always download it on Napster.
Free is always better.
Well, they do it to our CD.
Actually, you know,
we don't even care.
I don't care
it gets our name out there. You know?
When people told me that, I was like so flattered, you know what I mean? Like the Metallica thing, I can understand their gripe, you know, they have a point. But when I heard that I was on there, I was like, man, that's fantastic, you know?
Hey, do you run your own website anywhere, like stupidpeople.com or something?
Not yet.
So you may have.
I have the domain name. That's the only step I take.
You reserve the name. You own BrianRegan.com.
Yeah, I spent the $75 or whatever it is to get the name, and that's about all I know how to do. It took me like 8 months to figure that out.
Cool, I'm going to go get your stuff from Napster then. I'll talk to you later.
I don't think you heard the first part, Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
That's if you want to pay.
Matt, seriously, Tower Records usually has it in the comedy section. I've seen it there many times.
And Borders.
And Borders? Okay.
Borders? Oh, I never thought to look there.
It's a great CD. We play clips from it all the time.
Here's one of my takes on Napster that I heard. It's an upgrade. If you bought vinyl many years ago, and all of a sudden they changed the format of the music, and it is now it's not modern. The record player. So they put out new equipment, CD players. Why should I have to then pay again for the same music that I already bought on vinyl? So I am just getting the upgrade off of Napster for the music I already had.
These are like albums that you've had since the 70s? This is how you're talking yourself.
That's how I justify it.
He doesn't want to buy, the Yes album.
I'm also all for food borrowing. You just walk into someone's house, you open their fridge and start eating and go, no, we're just sharing. I'm file sharing in your refrigerator.
Food sharing.
Oh, man.
So, Brian was telling us a little story about the emergency room during.
Yeah.
He was cracking us up.
I had to go myself. I had like the stomach virus thing, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife was watching Christopher, so she couldn't take me. I almost called an ambulance. And it's weird, well, it's weird considering calling an ambulance for yourself. You know, you always figure you call an ambulance for somebody else. What do you say about yourself? Can you come get me? Yeah, I don't feel so hot. Could you do the code blue where you don't stop for nobody? And just come on in. I'll be sitting on the couch rubbing my belly. You know, I'm just looking at the phone. I don't think you're allowed to call an ambulance for yourself. So I drove myself to the emergency room, which has to be a worse option. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I show up at the entrance, and they don't have any valet parking at the emergency room. If there's ever a place where they should have a valet parking stand, you know, if there's ever a time we want to go, can you park this because I need to collapse immediately? But no, I got to deal with, please take the ticket. You know, and I'm driving around this lot. Hey, can I park there? I think I'm going to die. I'm dying too. Okay, go ahead. I'll go up a couple levels. And it doesn't matter if you're driving yourself or somebody else. If you're driving somebody, you still want to hop out with them at the door. You're supposed to drop somebody off while you go park. You know, okay, you go in. Tell them you're shot. Ask them if they validate. You take care of the bullet wounds, and I'll handle parking. We'll work it out 50-50. And then, you know, I go in there at 2 o'clock in the morning. I would think that would be all they need to know to start doing stuff. The fact that you show up at a hospital at 2 a.m.
Right.
must mean, hey, he's here, start sticking tubes up his nose. What else are you showing up for? Man, I'm bored. I saw your lights on, and I was wondering, who's up for canasta? I got a hankering for some canasta like you wouldn't believe. But I gotta, you know, check in with the question they ask. It kills me. They say, what seems to be the problem? The seems part is so insulting. What seems to be the problem? Well, it seems like every hole in my body is exploding every liquid imaginable. That's what it seems like. But, you know, I'm no doctor until it gets analyzed officially by one of your medical staff. In my own delusional world, it seems like there ain't no moisture left inside me. They put you in the bag in this room, you know. It's like they do a half room kind of thing with a curtain down the middle, with a mystery patient on the other side. You know, you just see the silhouette over there. What the hell's the matter with that person? I'm laying there, and that person over there is moaning, you know. I'm like, man, they're never gonna help me with him moaning like that. So I gotta out moan him, you know. He's like, I'm like, he's cranking it up. Quit moaning! We're all hurting! It's the emergency room! They know this! You know, the nurses must just be running around holding their ears. It's got to be hell to work in this environment! And then they come in, and nurse is like, she asks, how you feeling? I said, you know, terrible. You know, do you have like a painkiller? She goes, how would you describe your pain? What kind of question? Otherworldly? I don't know. It's hard for me to find adjectives that can cover this pain. She goes, well, how would you rate it then? How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst pain? Well, you know, saying 2 ain't gonna get you nothing.
Right.
Oh, I'm a 2. Maybe the high 1s. If you could get me a baby aspirin and cut it in half, and maybe a Flintstone vitamin, and I'll be out of your hair. I don't mean to bother y'all with my low-level, flying beneath the radar screen pain level. I'm 10, I guess, you know. I was going to say 10, but I backed off because I had heard the worst pain a human can endure. I don't know if this is true, but I heard it was getting your upper leg bone, your femur bone, cracked in half. Oh. So I thought I better not say 10 because I didn't get my femur bone cracked. Then I was thinking, what was I worried about? Is there like a femur ward at the hospital? They'll hear about it and come hobbling into my room. Who the hell had the audacity to say they were out of level 10? You know nothing about 10. Give me a sledgehammer. Let me show you what 10 is all about, Mr. Tummy Ache. But I'm fine now.
Hey,
it ended up I had the sniffles.
Ah, the sniffles. The sniffles. What the hell is that?
After all that,
you know, you get what we call the sniffles.
The sniffles. You must feel like a moron at that point. Hey, Anthony.
What?
How do we know he's Brian Regan? I was just thinking over here. Someone is on the line saying they're Brian Regan.
Hey, now.
Brian Regan's calling in.
What is happening here?
You sure you're Brian Regan?
I always thought I was.
Pop down Brian Regan.
Brian Regan?
Hello?
Yeah.
You've got a phony in the studio. Screwed up a word. Couldn't get it out correctly. Trying to do the word, but it wasn't working.
That is me.
Brian, the real Brian Regan was just in Vegas doing a little gambling, putting some money in some machines and getting coins to come out. The coins coming out just landed in my pockets, trade them in to get some dollars.
I didn't realize how simple my material was. So basically I could just say that I was thirsty and bought some water and then drank it. It was good.
That's funny.
We had to throw that in tonight, man.
Wait a second. The real Brian Regan would have done a joke instead of just saying stupid things like I did. The real Brian Regan would have had a bit. I just talked and repeated what I said until I made people angry. The real Brian Regan would have said something funny. I don't have that kind of material.
I don't know about that, man.
Hey, this is Frank Caliendo.
I would have guessed so.
Yeah.
How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing all right. I was going to keep being you for a second.
I blew it. I blew the whole illusion. How you doing, me?
You tore down the wall.
Oh, my, yeah. It's like you're in a play and you talk to the audience. Hey, what do you think? We're doing pretty good, huh? All right. I got to get back to talking to King Lear.
You just broken the fourth wall.
Yeah, right.
All right, Frank.
All right, Rick just gave me a call, told me to call in and mess with Brian.
No, very good
Frank,
job,
man. I think you nail it.